Okay, everybody, welcome back. So, last time, in our 50-word prompts criteria sa periodical exam, ang ginawa namin ay ganito. Diba remember, last time, natapos tayo ang General Mathematics Senior High School first finals periodical exam doon sa logarithms. Diba remember, so far so good, natapos na tayo lahat yung mga konsepto tungkol sa logarithms. We were able to translate each logarithmic expression, either to expand or to condense the logs. Diba? So we've already done all of this. Although I were not able to show that to you on the computer. Pero these are the things that we have done, diba? So that's it. So now we're already moving on to our next topic. So the next topic that we're going to do is all about simple interest. Diba remember now we are already here. Complete the table. So diba remember in here we have a table, diba? Meron tayong table na dapat tayong i-kompletuhin. And there are 10 items that we're gonna have to do. So good luck if we can solve for the rest of all the 10 items. Okay? Now for the first item, our goal is to solve for the interest and the amount. Our principal is 50,000 pesos. Our rate is 8% per annum. Our time is 5 years. So how do we solve for the interest and amount? Remember, to solve for the interest and the amount, it's always P times R times I. Times T equals the amount. Diba? I, diba? And P plus A equals the amount. Let me write that for you. Yan, ito po yung formula namin. P times R times T to give you the I, and P plus I equals A. Now, di ba remember, for number 1, we have 50,000 as our principal, then times 8%, 0.08, then times 5. We can just multiply everything together. Pero I feel like it would be better if I were to use fractions, di ba? Kasi nga fractions also a good help. So, I can simplify whatever I can simplify. Like, I can remove the 2 zeros and make everything 1. So, therefore, this is just going to be 500 times 8 times 5. 8 times 5 equals 40. And 500 times 40 is equivalent to 20, di ba? So, 20,000. Yan. So, therefore, that is our, what do you call this? That is our simple interest. Now, let's go to Excel. Sorry pala. The answer, that was supposed to be 10,000 pala, not 15,000. 10,000 pala to, sorry. So, therefore, that's supposed to be 10,000. I'm sorry, guys, ha? Let's try again. So, diba remember, we have 10,000, which is the principal, times 0.08, times 5. Diba remember, dapat, we do this. So, 10,000 times 1 times 8 over 100 times 5 over 1. Did you know that 100 and this one, these two zeros, they cancel? So, therefore, 100 divided by 100, 10,000 divided by 100 equals 100. So, 100 times 40 na lang. So, 100 times 40 equals 1,000. Yeah, kasi diba remember, this is what will happen. So, diba remember, meron tayong 10,000, diba? 10,000, and then we divide by 100. So, that 100 cancels, and that becomes 40. So, 100 times 40 becomes 14,000 becomes 100 times 4. That's supposed to be 400. Diba? So, tama, 4,000. So, 4,000, that is our I. So, our I is equivalent to 4,000 pesos. Diba? Now, if I were to do this on Excel, ganito yung ginawa ko sa Excel. Diba? Remember, we have the principal times the rate times the time. So we have to find the interest. So we have to do this by doing this. Remember, ipindot mo yung equal, and then type product of everything. Nakita mo yung product dito, i-click mo to, tapos highlight all the cells. Get the entire table. Tapos yun, you get 4,000. And then, P plus I. Diba remember, yung 4,000 na yan, that's your I. Ipindot mo to. So, is that correct? P plus I equals the A. So, tama. Your interest and amount should be, your interest must be 4,000 pesos, and your amount is 14,000 pesos. Madali lang yan. Next, number 2 na tayo, okay? Number 2. Our principal is not known. Pero, our rate is 2.5% per annum. Our time is 12 years and our interest is 6,000 pesos. How do we solve for P? Don't worry, maiksi lang to. Kasi the solution there is to just apply what you've learned. Diba, remember P times R times T equals I. E kaso, wala yung P. So, ano yung gagawin namin? Ang gagawin namin ay ganito. So, therefore, we have, wait lang, P times 0.025 times the time. What's the time? 12, diba? I'll lay it na lang like this part, you can see. Yan. Equals, what's the number? Equals, what's the answer? 6,000 pesos, diba? 6,000. So, what's 0.025 times 12? 0.025 times 12. Diba? Remember, that's 25 times 12. 25 times 12, that's already 300, diba? 300. We're at 2 zeros, diba? And then point. Yan. Diba? Because 4 of those makes, ano yun? So, tama, that's already 300. And then, whatever answer you get, P times the answer that you get times the product equals 6,000 pesos. Then, divide both sides by 300. This one cancels. 60 divided by 3. Teka. Di siya tama. Sige, let's try to check with the solution sheet. Baka mali mo, I might have put everything there. Okay, going back to your solution sheet. So, diba, remember we have 0.025. And then, we have to, ano yun? Then, our interest is 6,000 pesos. So, therefore, ang gagawin na namin, ganito yung gagawin namin. First, we need to multiply the two numbers together. So, we do this. I-click mo ito, this cell, and then asterisk, dahil product siya, times 12. And we're supposed to get 0.03. Tama? Kaya pala. Kaya pala nagkaroon tayo na mali. Kasi nga, diba, remember, we did, ano yun? 0.025 times 12. And there were 3 decimal places. So, therefore, that's supposed to be 0.3. Kaya pala. Okay. Kasi nga, diba, remember, this 0.025, that's 2.5 divided by 100. Moving the decimal places 2 places to the left, that's 0.025. So, tama nga, that's supposed to be, ano yun? So, therefore, that's supposed to be 300. Diba, remember dito, kunin tayo ng 300. Pero don't forget to add 2 zeros. And then, yan, add 3 zeros. Diba? O pwede tayo individual, diba? Pero never mind, para mas madali, we do it na lang here. Para mas madali, okay? And we're supposed to get 0.03. And then, this one, we do this. Diba? This your I, diba? I divided by the answer that you get there. Diba? Ito yung answer na kinuha namin sa product ng dalawa. We get the principal of 20,000. In short, kung gagawin tayo dito, we can do E6 divided by the product of the two numbers. This one times ito, diba? Did we get the same answer? Yes, we get 20,000 pesos. And now, we click this cell here and then just add 20,000 pesos plus 6,000. Our final amount must be 26,000 pesos. Just like what, but I will not tell you if we're correct, but I will check it later. Okay? So yeah, that's supposed to be the answer. The final amount is supposed to be 26,000, whereas the principal is supposed to be 20,000 pesos. Next, for item number 3, here's the problem that I have. In this situation, wala tayong interest at wala tayong time. Paano tayo magawa tayo dyan, sir? Don't worry. Applying the formula that I taught you. P times R times T equals the I. And P plus I equals A. Pero dito sa number 3, wala tayong time. Pero do we have enough information? What is given? A, P, R. So, is there anything that we can do? May A tayo, may P tayo. So, we can do P plus I equals A. So, yan. So, now we have to solve for the interest. So, solve for the interest is just very easy. If you're given the future amount, the thing that you're going to do there is to just subtract. So, looking at that cell here, which is blank, you do this. Equals, click the cell, click the amount, then minus the principal, which is 130,000. Not that one, pero this one, shift down. Is that correct? Yes, then press enter. Yan, and therefore your interest must be 12,675. That is the interest. Now we need to solve for the time. To solve for the time, remember the first thing we need to do is to do this. Multiply the product together. Or if you want to do this direct, you can simply click this cell and then divide it on both sides. Divide by this guy, then divide by this guy. If you do this, you should get 2.1666666 and a bunch of sixes. Pero, I think it's better we do it on paper so that you will see how we do the point. Okay? Kasi nga remember, we are supposed to do this. Or let's try this way. Diba remember sabi ko, you can just multiply 130,000 and 0.45. Wait, diba remember the 0.045? Teka, that's supposed to be 4.5, not 3.5 pala. 4.5 pala to, sorry. Anyway, so that's 4.5% per annum. Diba? And now all we have to do is to just multiply. So let's do this on paper. So diba remember you have 130,000 times 0.045, diba? The zeros cancel out, and then we have 0.45. Diba remember this becomes 15, 135.45. 0, 0, 0, 0. And then 3 decimal places. Tama. So therefore, we're supposed to get 5,850. Okay? And then 5,850 times the time equals 12,675. We can divide this by 5,850 on both sides. Diba? And when we divide that, we can divide both sides by 25. And when we do that, let's try to see what we get. So if we were to do this here, 5,125, 507. So this one is 507. Diba? 58550 divided by 25, 2, 50, 85, 3, 75, 104. So 234. Actually, you can still simplify this because they are both divisible by 13. Diba?
Sure, water, ha? I'm going to brush it now. So here na. Thank you, Lord. I'll put up na your food para anytime you will eat. Thank you, Lord.
So divide by both sides by 13 or by 3. Diba? So we're gonna divide both sides by 3. So let's see if it works. So 507 divided by 3. 16, diba? 48. 169. 169. 234 divided by 3. 7, 21, 78. Yan. So now we have 169 over 78. Divide both sides by 13. And we know we get 13 over 6, which is the same as 2 and 1 6. Diba? And 2 and 1 6 is the same as, diba, 1 6 is, ano yun? 1 6 is, ano yun? 1 over 6 is 2.1666666 and a bunch of 6s, unless you can round it up to 7. Kaya tama, that's really the time. Okay? Now we know it. Now you know the answer to the problem. So number 4, look at this. Our principal is 2,800 pesos. Our rate is blank percent per annum. Our time is 1,080 days and our interest is 140 pesos. So what's missing? What's missing is the rate and the amount. For the amount, it's very easy. We just add 2,800 plus 140. So ganito kasi yun. Di ba remember yung 2,800 plus 140, i-click na namin. Click this cell, i-add mo silang dalawa. Or you can just type the sum. Para di ka magpindot ng plus button, just add that plus sum. Type sum and then choose the two numbers that you want to add. Then press enter to verify with your answer and you get 2,940. That is your final amount. Diba? Next. And then, diba remember, our goal is to solve for the rate. But remember, our time unit is different. Look at this. Diba remember, it says it's blank percent per annum and the time given is in days. The time units are not the same. So we need to convert our time units. So our time units must be converted into years. Because annum means 1 year. So therefore, 1,080 days is worth 3 years. Paano tayo nagagawa? Ganito kasi yun. Diba remember, we have 1 year is worth 360 days. That is for ordinary interest. But we have 1,080 days. Let's try to complete the proportion. So 180 divided by 360, and we get 3 years. Kaya naman, you might be asking me, sir, why is there a 3 year? Ibig sabihin, yung 1,080 days na yan ay 3 years. So, ay nilagay ko 3. Because ang ginawa ko dito ay, ganito kasi yun. Diba? 1,080 divide by 360. So we get to convert that. Diba? Remember, dapat equation. So, dapat may equal. And we're supposed to get 3. Tama? Now, our goal is to solve for the rate. To solve for the rate, it's very easy. If I were to do this on paper, we get 2,800 pesos times R times 3 equals 140. Of course, I can do 2,800 times 3 to give me 8,400 R equals 140. Then divide both sides by 8,400 on both sides, on both of the situations. This one cancels and you get 14 over 840. Dividing both sides by 14, diba? And dividing it both sides by 14, you get 1 over 60. 1 over 60, of course, we know that that's the same as, ano yun? 1 over 6 tenths. Diba? Or 1 over 3 fifths. So, that's already considered a complex fraction. Let me write it here na lang. So, therefore, we have, ano to? 1 over 3 over 5. Or 1 divided by 3 over 5. Or 1 times 5 divided by 3. To give you 5 thirds. Diba? And 5 thirds is the same as 1.66666 in a bunch of 6. 6s, diba? So therefore, to convert that into percent, that's gonna be 1 and 2/3. So that's 1.666 and a bunch of 6. Pero that's in decimal. We want it in percent. Is that right? Ah, yeah, kasi nga that's already in percent. That's already 1.6. Okay? Or, kung pwede, you can divide 1 divided by 60. Ganito kasi yun. I'll do it na lang here para mas mabilis, okay? So, we do 1 divided by 60. Ganito kasi yun. Di ba, remember the, wait. The first thing that we're gonna do is, this one. 2,800 times 3. Di ba? And we get this, 8,400. And then, ang ginawa namin, i divide by the answer that you get here. You get 0.01667. Di ba? And then, di ba remember, since we want in percent, your answer must be multiplied by 100. So, therefore, your answer should be, tama, that's supposed to be 1.666%. So, yun ang sagot. So, therefore, the correct answer is, di ba remember, ito yung ginawa namin, di ba? So, ito yung ginawa namin. So, 140 divided by this guy, divided by this guy as well. Tama, and we should get this answer. And then, this guy, we multiply that by 100, di ba? Nakita mo to? I-asterisk na namin, tapos ipindot mo yung 100. At tama, we're supposed to get 1.667%. Let's write this in percentage na lang. Yan. Teka, that's wrong. So, tama, that's 1.667%. That's the answer. Next, number 5. For number 5, here's the problem that I'm having right now. It says here, I'm sorry if you can't see the label, pero let me zoom in. So, yan. It says here, our principal is not known and the interest amount is not known. However, we are given the rate and the time. The rate is 1.5% per month and the time is 1.5 years. Pero we need to convert our time units first to ensure that they are the same. So, 1 year. So, do I remember, our time is in years, pero our rate is in months. So, what we do about that? No problemo. Because the thing that we're going to do is to apply conversion. Diba? So, how do we convert? Ganito kasi yun. So, if it's in pink, so we have 1 year, 12 months, diba? Pero, it's asking for months, so we need to convert that. So, 1.5 year, of course, that's the same as 1 and a half. So, 1 and 1 half times 12. Of course, 1 and 1 half is the same as 3 halves times 12 over 1. Diba? This 3 times 12 becomes 36. Divide by 2 to give you 18. So therefore, the answer is 18 months. Okay? So we are supposed to get 18 months as our time unit. Now, here's another problem. In this particular situation, we have no interest and we have no principal. Remember the reference formula, P times R times T equals I, and P plus I equals A. But look, where is our rate? Where's our principal? Where's our interest? They're not there. Pero, remember this is the thing I told you before? Ganito kasi yun. Naalala mo yung I, PRT. Diba? And then what you can do, you can factor out the PRT. So this is how it's going to be done, diba? Equals A. I-factor mo yung P. And you're supposed to get 1. Diba remember, P times 1 equals P. And then RT equals the amount. Tama? So yan. So now we can already solve. So in this particular situation, we have P times 1 plus, what are the products? 1.5% is the same as 0.015 times 18. Bakit times 18? Bakit hindi 1.5? Kasi nga, ang time unit namin ay months. And that's equivalent to our amount, which is 9,500 pesos. First things first, we need to multiply the two numbers together. 18 times 15. If I were to do this here, please wait a moment. Yan. So, 18 times, what's that number? 0.015, diba? 0.015. So, therefore, I know that this is gonna be, siguro what you is, I'll do this around Excel para mas mabilis. Okay? Excel na lang tayo. So, now, this is what we're going to do. So, diba, remember this one, we do this first. 80, we do the product of both. And we're supposed to get, what's the answer? The answer that we're supposed to get is 0.27. Now that we've already got the product of the two numbers, it's time to divide. Diba? And then from there, the thing that we're going to do is to divide. Diba? So 9,500 pesos, divide by 0.27. And when we divide, we're supposed to get, what's the answer? Yan. And that's supposed to be our principal. So yun na yung principal namin. So therefore, principal is 35,185.20 peso, 20 cents. So if we were to do this here, if we were to do the formula all together, so therefore it's A, which is 9,500. Wait, that's still not the final amount. Kasi nga, that's what we get, diba? Kasi nga, that's what we get from dividing. That's what we get from dividing pala. That's not yet the final answer. Kasi nga naman, remember, yung 0.27 na yan, that is from multiplying 0.015 times 18. So therefore, we're gonna have to do this. Can you see what I'm doing? So yan. So therefore, we're gonna do P times 1 plus 0.27 is equivalent to 9,500. Now we need to add. So therefore, P is equivalent to, P times 1.27 is equivalent to 9,500 pesos. So yan. Now, and last but not least, we're gonna have to divide both sides by 1.27. Kasi nga, I forgot a step, you just need to add. So therefore, di ba remember, sabi ko sa iyo, ganito yung solution sheet. So you have 2.27 and then your answer is being added by 1. Kasi we need to add 1, di ba? Dahil sa principal na yan. And we're supposed to get 1.27. Then, 1.27 divided by we need to divide it from the amount. Amount divided by the answer that we get. And we're supposed to get 7,480 pesos and 32 cents. Diba? If I were to do this here, ganito kasi yun. So therefore, we start with the final amount of 9,500. 9,500 divided by 1 plus the product of this one. You see my cell is already highlighted, diba? And then we do this. Then, did we get the same principal? Yes, we still got the same principal. Thank the Lord. And then A, sorry, not this one. minus the principal, which is this one. Yes, and that is the interest. So tama, so our interest is 2,019.68 cents, whereas the principal is 7,480 cents. At yun na talaga yung final sagot. Thank the Lord talaga we were able to get the answer. Okay? Sorry. Yan, that's number 5.